Hello, everybody, and welcome to another episode of the Talking Nerdy podcast. I'm Aaron.
I'm Sam. You know, we only sometimes introduce ourselves, and
I
I
know.
think that's very fun.
I know. Only when I remember. Sometimes when we are, too fired up about the discussion, we just dive into it.
We're just like, we have a lot to say right now.
We're like, yeah,
so.
it doesn't matter who we are or why we're here, but we gotta talk about this.
That's honestly kind of what I feel today, though.
That's true. Well, then introduce our topic, because this is
I
100%...
introduce a thing.
This is 100% you, yeah.
This is true, and it's because I feel strongly about the subject. And today we are talking about the new Hellboy trailer. So the 2019 Hellboy movie starring that guy from Stranger Things and Mila Jovovich.
Chief Hopper.
Chief Hopper Hellboy.
He's had a rough day.
Yeah.
And
seems like it.
Right.
So we want to talk about the trailer because going into it, I was wary. I love Hellboy. I like the Hellboy comics.
Right, so give some background real quick. Why Hellboy is so, important to you.
I mean, it's not, super significant,
well,
but
no,
I find...
but just, I'm just okay, Hellboy, yeah, cool. You know, that Ron Perlman movie was real cool. I'll watch another one, but,
yeah.
You've got a little bit more.
I have a lot of reasons of why the 2004 Hellboy, is one of, my top movies. I love it very much. It's because I really like the art of the comic books by Mike Mignola. He's awesome. He draws skulls all the time, and so of course I love him. And he drew a really super stylized Hellboy. And I really like when, I don't know, it seems like so many superhero type comic books have really similar styles to me. Mm-hmm. And Mike Mignola's style was so far removed from that it was really interesting. So I really liked the comic books just solely on that basis mostly, and Hellboy was a really cool character.
Style.
Yeah. And then the Guillermo del Toro movie came out, and Guillermo del Toro is the best. I love him so much, and he uses so many cool practical effects, and I feel like the casting for Hellboy was really perfect, and I'm like, Ron Perlman is Hellboy, and I won't hear another word. And then this trailer came out, and I was like, I'll hear another word. I'll hear a word. And I heard the word, and the word was a swear, and I covered my ears. I don't like it. Not really. I don't mind that they made Hellboy swear. But I don't like the trailer.
You're not excited.
No, but let's talk about the trailer itself after my long-winded intro.
Yeah, well, so there was a teaser a month ago or whatever, but then a full trailer just came out, and then they immediately released the Red Band version, which was much better because the regular trailer was clearly edited in many places. So
that harsh cut right before the F word.
Right, yeah, there was many times. So then watching the Red Band trailer, I was like, oof.
Potential
this
came
looks
back.
good. So I'm just purely looking at it as a trailer for a movie because I'm not, as I've seen the old one, but I'm not as invested in it. So I'm looking forward to it. I'm excited. There were things that I liked when there was a big monster and it killed people. I liked when he had horns too. And was on a dragon. I was like, I can get behind this. I liked when the Korean guy from Lost turned into a cheetah or a jaguar.
Up. The Korean guy from Lost is there, Aaron Martin. That's literally what you said to me.
Yeah. I forget the actor's name. So, I like Chief Hopper from Stranger Things, and
there's a lot of really
Resident
cool
Evil movies are good, so,
That's another podcast.
They're not good movies, but they can be fun movies.
They can be fun movies.
I think they're fun movies.
Mm-hmm. That's really what I expect of most superhero or comic book adaptation type movies. So
is that they're going to be fun movies.
I just want them to be fun.
That's just it. This doesn't look like a great movie, but it looks like a fun movie, and I'm excited for a fun movie.
Right.
That's going to be
I wanted
different.
it to be great, but I'll settle for fun.
Yeah.
But I'll always think more of the 2004 movie.
Now, you've got some beef with the costume.
The costume. It's like a quote-unquote costume to me, because I told you earlier, I realized why I didn't like it, is because I was looking at a comparison of the 2004 versus the 2019 one, and for the same reason I really liked the comic book art, because it was so stylized and different, they created, a weird-looking torso, and a really strange, his giant hand was, super... It was all really stylized, and it seemed he's not, human at all. There's nothing about him that's human. He's like, except for kind of his jaw.
Mm-hmm.
That's all that's like kind of human, and he has human hands, but one of them is large. But he's like super stylized, and it was such like an artistic take on it to make him seem so other from the humans in the movie. This one feels like they painted Chief Hopper red, and then they slapped some putty on his face, and I didn't like it as much. And his arm is really unremarkable. I didn't see it do anything cool. I want it to do cool things. I don't know. It seems like they're just like, look how buff this man is. Also, he has horns. He's a demon.
Right.
Whereas, like, in my mind, Hellboy sticks out and is so different than any other human. I don't know. There's always supposed to be, like, a bit of a contrast of, like, like, Hellboy, demon, and then, like, human characters around him. Because it's supposed to be a big difference between monster and human.
Right. But
this guy just seems like he's just a red-painted guy who is a buff man.
That's true. He does... The character is not as big.
No.
That's just it. Like, Ron Perlman's Hellboy was big.
Yeah, because his name's Big Red.
This guy, oh gosh, what's this actor's name? David.
Chief Hopper.
I know, Chief Hopper. His name's David something.
I'll Google it, you talk.
But yeah, Chief Hopper. Yeah, he doesn't seem to like fill up as much space because that's just it. He looks like a large human, as this actor is. He's a big guy. He is
indeed a large human.
But he's not like this massive demon. Though when he's riding the dragon, he looks larger.
David Harbour.
Yeah. When he's got the crown, I liked the flaming crown with his horns.
Flaming crown was really cool effect.
I gotta say, I did like that aesthetic for the character.
There's plenty of stuff I really liked about like a lot of the monster designs look really cool.
Yeah.
And I like the Guillermo del Toro because they used a lot of like practical effects where they could. But
Right.
I really respect like whoever designed these monsters. I'm not familiar. I think some of them are like references to the comic, but I'm not sure. And
I'm sure.
I'm
sure.
I just think that they did a really good job with those, like the dragon.
Yeah, the dragon looks cool. The
like,
monster that's like destroying London looks really cool.
Yeah.
I liked the effect of like it was just a really quick scene, but like as they were fighting those guys when they got killed, like the little like ghost bee wisps came out of them. That was cool. That was a creepy set. It was such a quick shot, but like that scene's gonna be a cool scene.
I was thrown off a bit by the Korean guy from Lost being like a were jaguar.
Yeah, why
not? That
not?
was interesting.
Again, maybe a character from the comics at some point.
I don't know.
He was a police officer though. He was wearing a police vest. It said like LAPD on it or something.
Sure.
So
Also, where's Abe Sapien? The best character. That good fish boy.
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like the trailer does not give us a good idea of what this movie is really about.
I don't know much about
the
how the plot
so
will
quick.
develop at all. Yeah. But it does seem like it'll be like a fun movie.
Right? I think it's going to be a partial origin story because there's that one shot in the trailer of baby Hellboy.
I was going to say the very beginning is them talking about
in Scotland
finding him. So
with the Nazi with the 3D
with the 3D
glasses. Yeah, that's weird. Okay.
I'd love it.
Whatever. Yeah.
They at least like discuss it because it seems like they're in the movie discussing it and it's like a flashback.
Right, so there's at least going to be a flashback sequence.
Which the other movie had as well. It started with finding Hellboy, basically, so that's pretty neat. I like it. I always loved me a baby Hellboy. The CGI baby Hellboy looks really neat.
Yeah.
I always loved the baby Hellboys.
It did look neat. He had tiny little horns, so he looked like Daredevil.
Yeah. He was a bab.
Oh gosh, I forgot to look when the movie comes out. Oops.
Let me get my Google device.
Well, because I was just about to ask, do you think they will release another trailer before the film comes out?
It comes out April 12th for the USA.
Okay, so we're a month away.
Yeah.
So this is probably the main trailer.
Yeah.
We might get like TV sound bit that has a couple scenes that like weren't there, but I feel like what we have now is like all we're really gonna see before seeing the movie.
Like if they do another trailer, it's gonna be probably a lot of the same things rehashed with like 2 extra clips that the other one didn't have. Like I think that's pretty standard.
Exactly, yeah, they'll throw one little thing in. So that being said, based on what you've seen, because you're not overly excited, is this a movie that you would pay to see in theater?
I feel like I would.
Okay.
I feel like...
So you would still see it in the theater.
I would still see it in the theater.
You're not like
I still
that.
just like Hellboy, honestly, as like a character and all that.
Yeah, I want to see it in the theater.
I also think it would be neat to see those like monster effects in the theater, because in the Red Band one, there's like the big leggy boy.
Yeah, and he
slices through things and blood spurts everywhere. That's kind of neat to see on a big screen. I'm a big fan of that.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't know. I think that would be really cool. Maybe the dragon part would be really cool.
I hope so.
Yeah, I don't know. I think it's fun to watch.
I hope it's going to be good.
If you have any inkling to watch an action type movie, I feel like if you like want to watch that movie, you should watch it while it's in theaters, because like action movies are so big and loud and fun and fast, like on a big screen, and I feel like that's like the greatest way to watch them. So I'm like, if I'm gonna like this movie, I'm gonna need to see it in the theater, where it's like all of my focus is on this movie and all these cool things are happening and it's big and loud and fun. Because if I watch it, like I rent it from Redbox and I watch it upstairs, I'm gonna be like meh, because it's on my little TV screen and I'm kind of paying attention. And
right, that's fair. Yeah.
So I think that as long as I see it in theaters, I'm probably gonna come out thinking favorably of it, despite all of my qualms right now with... Honestly, it's just, like, personal preference. All my qualms. That's the only reason I'm like, I don't like him. I don't like Hellboy. It has nothing to do with what I think the actors are going to do or what the writing's going to be.
Yeah.
The writing seems a little bit hand-fisted Deadpool. Like, we see the F word, and then they have, like, the moments that are the quieter moments in the trailer where it's just, like, a one-liner that's like, ba-dums.
Yeah. Well,
it seems a little bit like...
We'll see.
A little try-hard, but I have hope. I want it to be good. I always want Hellboy to be good.
I think it definitely will be a good in-theater film. I haven't seen a good
For sure.
a good movie in the theater. Well, I haven't seen a movie in the theater in a while, so.
I just like watching like monster type movies.
Exactly, yeah.
Things like that. I think that's always good. I can't stand the Godzilla movies if I watch them in my own home, but watching them in the theater always makes me like super happy. Godzilla's and I think that's like... That's just the experience of going to the theater for me. So I think Hellboy would definitely be a good one to watch.
Yeah, for sure. All right. Well, I mean, any other thoughts on Hellboy? We're only talking about the trailer, so there's not as much to talk about. We will do another one after we see the film. Come back to these points and see how you feel.
I'll be just as talkative. More so, in fact.
Right.
Let's let our ending note be what you pointed out to me about the trailer that I suddenly found hilarious. And it's that she is specifically a 5th century sorceress.
Oh, yes.
None of those 6th century hacks. Mila Jovovich is I
thought some of the exposition dialogue was a little funny, because it starts off with like specifically like a while ago on an island off the coast of Scotland. I was like, oh, and then he's like, I feel like be careful, everybody. She's a 5th century like whatever sorceress, and I was like, 5th century. That's got to be important.
That's why I think that they probably got a lot from the comic books.
Yeah,
because
so
they're like
exposition or whatever.
Are you excited? And me being the butthead only liking it for the art.
Was like, no.
I was like, I like the art.
Well, so for me, as someone that knows nothing about the Hellboy comics, if those are indeed references, I don't get them. So I just see it as like oddly specific exposition for the trailer. There was 3 or 4 lines like that, and I was just like, oh, okay, yeah, I'm excited. So that was funny. The voiceover dialogue bits.
Was it like, you can be my king, we can rule together, and you're like,
yes, I know what that lady character is. Yeah, exactly. But
that's me with a lot of superhero movies. Nodding, yeah. So I get the superheroes.
That's true. I'm sure someone who hasn't seen any of the Marvel movies watching the latest Avenger trailer would feel exactly the same. Like, yes, those two. They're gonna do things.
That one seems important. Keep your eye on him. Except for Doctor Strange, in which I knew everything and nobody cared.
Right. Oh well.
So, I put my heart and soul into the movies that people are like, most of the time.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. Understandable, though. They're usually still good films.
Heck yeah, they're still fun. And that's what I want.
Fun movies.
Yeah.
Well,
so, if anybody out there has any thoughts about
yeah,
the trailer for Hellboy,
are you excited for Hellboy?
Did you get the references? Tell them to me in the comments below.
Have you seen the other Hellboy movie?
Yes,
Do you think
I
that
always
that one
recommend the other
was
Hellboy.
better?
Maybe
Do
not
you
the
think
second one, but
this one will be better. We'll see. I don't know. So let us know your thoughts in the comments. We, like I said, we'll do another podcast after we've seen the film
absolutely
next month, and we'll see how right or wrong we were in our judgments. But until then, thank you for listening. You can find this podcast on the Nerd Herders YouTube channel or on Apple Podcasts, the iTunes Store. Yep. Talking Nerdy Podcast. The E is a 3. Very important. If you don't do that, it doesn't pop up. So like, share, subscribe, check out our videos, check out our other podcast episodes.
Tell us things that you want us to blab about.
Yeah, exactly.
I'll spout opinions about just about anything.
We are always open to suggestions. This is the Talking Nerdy Podcast, so if it remotely falls into a nerdy category or anything that you can nerd out about.
Yeah. What are you nerdy about, listener?
Exactly. We will talk about it. So thank you for listening, and until next time, stay nerdy.